Okay, so I'm going to show you how to make this bookmark. Okay, and it's a flower on the top with leaves, and you're going to do it on the loom, and you have a little finish here. Okay, and you can do this on a bigger gauge loom. I'm using a 3/16, and you can make it with scrap yarn, and you can use 2 colors if you want. So, all right. So here's how this flows. You're gonna get you you're only going to be using a few pegs, so even if you can use any loom you have on hand, really. But if you're wanting to use your fingering weight yarn, say you make socks, then you'll want to use this. Okay, so my suggestion is you will need a stitch marker. It will make things easier. Okay, to have things in a stitch marker. Just get you a couple. Alright, so what you want to do is just start, you just want to wrap that around. Okay. So what you want to do is you want to wrap that around peg, and I like to stick my hook in there. Okay. And then you're going to wrap it around again. And you're going to toss that bottom lip over. Now, you're going to stick the marker in that stitch. Okay. Then you're going to wrap around that same peg again. And toss the bottom lip over. That's 1. Wrap it around. 2. Wrap it around. 3. Wrap it around. 4. Wrap it around. 5. Okay. Then you're going to take and pull up your stitch and put it back on that same peg. Okay. And what you have done is created a picot. You'll see a little mark in there. See? You'll see that. Okay. You're going to do that again. You're going to wrap and wrap. So you're going to wrap it twice and then toss the bottom lip over. You're going to take your stitch marker and you're going to put it in that stitch. Tighten the stitch up. Wrap it and toss it over. If that happens, don't worry. Okay, you just set it up again. Okay. This is the beginning. This is a good thing to learn some techniques, but this is a picot. Alright, toss it over. And you're going to wrap. That's 2, 3, 4, 5. And you can take and pull up your stitch marker and put it back onto the same peg that you just did. Okay, that makes it easier. And you've now created another picot. You're going to do this over 8 pegs. Okay. Yep. There's 1. There's 2. There's 3. There's 4. And there's 5. Okay. Then pull it up again. I've shown this to you 3 times. You're going to continue until you have 8 total pegs that look like that. Okay? See if I can get it to focus. 8 total pegs with that. All right? Go ahead and pause the video and get that much done. Okay, as you can see, you've got 2 stitches on all of those. Okay. So now what you want to do is go in and knit the 2 stitches over. Okay. Okay. So the next thing you want to do is purl the next row. Okay. Okay. Then you'll want to knit the next row. So you'll knit a row and then purl a row, and then we'll be ready to do like a lace stitch. And the lace stitches are really easy lace stitch. It's not difficult at all. So you're just knitting your way over. Okay. And then you're going to purl your way back. Right. Okay, we're going to do our lace stitch, and as I said, this is not difficult. You're going to knit that first peg, then you're going to take that second stitch and you're going to move it over 1, which is a decrease. Then you're going to yarn over so that you have a stitch that's going to go back on that peg, and you're going to knit those 2 stitches together. Okay, so you're going to decrease, yarn over, and knit the 2 stitches together. Pick up, move over, yarn over, knit the 2 stitches together, and then knit the last one. Okay? Now you're going to purl your way over, and the purling should open up your lace sections. Okay, then you're going to knit your way back. You're almost done with the flower section. Okay. Then you're going to purl your way over, and you're going to do a double E-wrap on every single peg. Okay. So purl your way over, okay. Now you're going to wrap once, wrap twice, wrap once, wrap twice, wrap once, wrap twice, wrap once, wrap twice, wrap once, and twice, all the way over. We're about ready to complete our flower. Okay. And this is what it should look like on the inside. Okay. All right. Well, we need to bring it together, but my suggestion is we need to change the color. So I'm going to go ahead and snip the end and grab my green color. I'm going to do a magic knot. So what I do is I wrap it around pink and tie a half knot. And I take it all the way down to the base. And then I wrap around the pink, around the green, and do a half knot there. And then try to pull it close to the base of that first knot. Then I just tug on it until it doesn't move anymore. And that way I know I can cut it short. Okay. And what I'll do is go in and loosen up that stitch. The stitches are just tighten. Now, what you want to do now is you want to take and wrap and turn the next peg. Okay, so you've gone wrapped and round next peg, previous peg. See, then you're going to take and you're going to pull that through, creating a loop. Then you're going to take and pull that loop through each of the stitches. You're going to take them off. Okay, now stick your finger through there or you'll lose your work. Toss all the pink stitches over. Okay, take them off the pegs. Make sure you keep that wrap and turn peg on there. Okay, so make sure you keep that on. Now, you're going to pull on the one section to try and tighten that first stitch. So you're going to try to figure out which section you need to pull. And then you're going to wrap that around onto that first peg and pull. Okay, make sure that you don't lose that loop, because if you lose it, you'll have to start your flower all over again. Okay, and there is your flower. See? There it is. There's your flower. All right. Next, what we want to do is create a leaf. All right. And so we're going to create 2 leaves, as you can see here. You create the 2 leaves. All right. And I will tell you how many you need to cast on. So we're doing my kind of like my crocodile stitch cast on, that kind of thing. So what we want to do is we want to cast on 5. So I'm just going to make that. Okay, you're going to cast on 5. So here's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And you do kind of want the cast on loose. The reason being is it's going to need to fan around. Okay. And at this point, you're going to knit for 5 rows. Okay, so you're going to knit back and forth for 5 rows, right? And it's just over these 5 pegs, okay, that you just cast on. So you're only working these 5. Okay, you're not touching those 2. Those are just kind of sitting there. So that's row 1. This is row 2. This is row 3. This is row 4. And row 5. So this is your last row. And you're going to gather these stitches up. You don't typically are working with a whole lot of stitches at once. This is really small, cute, and delicate. And if you don't know how to crochet, this makes for a nice bookmark. Okay, so now what you're going to do is you're going to wrap and turn that peg right there. You're going to create a loop just like you did with your flower. And you're going to send that loop through each of those 5 stitches. Basically, you're creating something to gather your stitches together. Okay. Make sure you keep hold of that loop or you lose your leaf. Okay, you want to take off the 5. Okay. Now, you'll probably want to tighten. It's usually one side or the other. Try to get that tightened, the original wrap and turn tightened. Okay. And then you're going to put this on the same stitch. Okay. And you should have 3 stitches on there. Just take that bottom loop, toss it over the top too. Okay, now you have a leaf. Well, now you need a leaf on the other side. So you're going to toss that loop over. Then you're going to cast on 5 on this side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And you're only going to work those 5 pegs over for 5 rows. Okay. So this will be row 1. Reminding yourself not to touch those 2 pegs. Okay. And then this will be row 2. this is row 3. Row 4. And row 5. Okay, you're going to wrap and turn one of those, that peg before the 5 you cast on. Okay. Now what you want to do is go in and create your loop. Okay. And you're just going to send it through each of your five stitches you created. Alright, I'm going to put that through my finger. Don't lose it. Okay, take those 5 stitches you created off. Making sure that that wrap and turn peg is still on there. Alright, and you're going to slowly tighten it and place it onto that peg. Okay. Then you're going to take and toss that very bottom stitch over the top too. Okay. You will have created 2 leaves, as you can see. So you have a flower and 2 leaves. This next part is pretty easy. You keep doing where you keep wrapping it, you're doing an I-cord. So what I like to do, I like to wrap it behind, wrap it around, and you have 2 stitches on it, so toss both stitches over, get you back down to 1. Okay. Then I go wrap and wrap, toss and toss. And you're just going to continue this process until you get the length of the bookmark you want, whether it be 10, 12 inches. You just keep going until you have the length that you want. So I'm going to have you pause the video and get the length that you want. I think I probably did about 10 inches here. You can do 8, however long you want, and then we'll finish it up. Okay, so pause the video and get that much done. Okay, so I'm not going to make this one as long just because I'm just trying to get it filmed. You'll want to tug on the leaves and stuff if you're really just trying to get look for what the leaves look like. You'll of course weave in those ends right there. You will need to press the bookmark to make sure that it lies flat. Alright, so I'm not going to do mine as long. You could say it's going to be for a short book. But what we need to do is have this finished tail, as you can see. Okay, so I'm going to show you how to do that tail. So what you want to do is you want to cast on 7. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay. Then you're going to knit 3. So here's 1, 2, 3. Now you're going to get your stitch marker. You're going to place it on the next pick because you're going to create a picot. And what you're creating is this spot right here. Okay, it's going to lift up. All right. So what you're going to do is you're going to erect chain 5. So here is 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Then you're going to add that original stitch back to that same peg. Okay. And trust me, the stitch marker really helps with that. All right. And then you're just going to knit 3. 1, 2, 3. And again, you're not bothering with any of these 2 stitches over here. Sorry. You're not bothering with any of these 2 stitches over here. All right, so you've just knitted your way over. Now you're going to knit for 6 rows over those 7 pegs. So here is row 1. And when you get to that one, you're going to knit the 2 stitches over. Row 1, here's row 2. And here's row 3. And you continue on for 6 rows. Okay. So pause the video, complete your 6 rows across these 7 pegs. So 6 rows across these 7 pegs. Don't touch those, okay? Pause the video and complete that much. Okay. Now you want to take your working yarn, you want to wrap and turn on that first peg. Now you're going to create that loop so you can send it through because we're gathering again. And now you're going to send it through those 7 loops you've created. Alright, grab that loop. Keep hold of it. Take off those 7 stitches. Make sure you don't lose your wrap and turn here, okay? Don't lose your wrap and turn there. You'll probably want to pull on, there it is. Okay. Now, when you go to tighten, instead of putting it on the same peg as that wrap and turn, you're going to put this onto this stitch here. Okay. And tighten. Okay, so you have 2 there. So go ahead and knit those bottom stitches over. And at this point, you want to bind off. So then you're just going to toss that bottom loop over, move it over 1, toss over, and I like to do an extra toss over, create a knot. Okay. And you're just going to snip your end through. Okay. And you just tighten it up. Okay. And then you set your stitches. Okay. And there's your end leaf. Okay. So what you'll want to do is you'll want to weave in your ends. And you do that with a needle or whatnot. Okay. But you want to weave in your ends and then you're done. Okay. And that's how you make this flower bookmark. Alright. So alright. Okay. There is your leaf. And you'll just weave that in. Okay. And then you'll press it. You'll want to take and press this in. Okay. And then you will have your bookmark. And that is how you make a flower bookmark.